to prepare for the next set and pretend nothing happened before. And maybe that's where CMM is now struggling, Trev. They have no one to tell them, hey, you can still do this, boys. They need to do that themselves. And you also were in this position before. How do you feel in that moment?
To be fair, I just got destroyed.
I was going to say, are we really getting advice from Trevor about how to play in the Pro Scene?
Technically, I'd say, well, once I did get reverse swept by SK Gaming, and it was not a nice feeling, I'll tell you that, in a qualifier. To qualify to the month final, I was crying in my shower afterwards.
I bet, yeah.
Well, I hope FaCMM still take this one with pride, and they still did push SK Gaming twice to a match point. Do that, you know, that's still a very good, successful feat, but it's not over yet. They can still take this one home. They can still be the ones to make it all the way to the grand finals, and SK Gaming knocked out right in the quarters. We're now on bridge 2 for a map I kind of wanted to see, so I guess I'm not too unhappy about the outcome here. Chuck is actually banned out in this series. Eve is going to be picked up on the right-hand side. A brawler we talked about yesterday as she's nowhere near meta, never picked up, but if she's good, then on bridge 2-4.
I mean, it makes perfect sense here. Angela being banned, and you know the big heavy hitters like the Chuck, the Melodies, Kaze's all out of the question. Cole as well, another good ban. 8-Bit, I love that brawler on this map. I really do. It's often forgotten, but I like the CMM are considering it massively. So I think it wouldn't be the worst place for a Juju here. I think that in the current meta, she's really kind of out of it. It's possible. It depends about any potential wall breakers coming through at a later stage of this. But I think that so far I'm liking what CMM are bringing.
Yeah, I think it's really good. If you can manage to cycle out so many of the Eve supers, get your hypercharge, have them just non-stop coming in against, you know, these usual single projectile brawlers on a map like this, and there's the Juju that you mentioned. So the throw is coming in, and I do think it can work. I think it can work really, really well, but at the same time, I think it can just as easily be pinned in spawn and do nothing.
I don't think there's any other heist map where we see those brawlers come in. Here it is because of the water. So Juju and Eve have a little bit more wiggle room to dodge the incoming shots. Eve also particularly good against Nanny that has quite a slow reload speed with her little spawns whenever she has a super. Last pick now for SK Gaming, probably something with even more damage as they right now just want to hold control. Never mind, it's going to be a defense actually. Otis coming in. Seems like they do expect FaCMM to come in with some aggression themselves. With 8-Bit, Eve, Juju, Otis and Nanny on the map so far, Arc, it's going to be a very passive, slow-paced game.
Are they expecting maybe like a Miko? Potentially, is that what the Otis is on their idea? I mean, something like that wouldn't be a bad shout, or something tanky. I think tanky's kind of harder to make work for the Miko on this map. You've got much more ability to swap lanes. Brock, I think, is a good shout, and I'm pretty sure that CMM may have just dodged the bullet by not doubling down on what they were maybe considering. SK Gaming to go with that. Whether that's kind of seeing through some of the data, or maybe it's just something for their consciousness to go in with something. Now the question is that Otis going to be doing as much against the lineup which they're looking into?
Yeah, I wouldn't say so. They had to have that precautionary measure, absolutely, in case something more aggressive did come down. But I like that pivot from CMM. They maybe were going to go something aggressive, but now bringing in a brawler with great DPS, the ability to break grass, to break walls, kind of open. I think there's unbreakable walls on one side, but on the other side you can still break it. So that gives Juju less legs for walking across the walls. Obviously it harms the Eve at the same time, but it's a win and lose, you know?
That's the advantage of the last pick here. They had to pick up Otis. Let's see how it bears out. Last set of this series. SK Gaming versus FaCMM.
Well, an early break there with the rocket fuel for Takai. And OP just trying to maneuver nicely so as well forwards, getting some good taps with the poison there, and the fuel will trickle him down. As Yoshi staying firmly on that right-hand side, a good solid rock as always for SK Gaming. Now he there brings forward the peep, and so much of a tankiness from that shielding too, and a little tap onto the safe as well.
Yeah, but so much of a super battery as well in that situation. Brock being provided. Here's Remika. Shouldn't be too far off now either, and OP moving up the map. Not going to be the biggest DPS on safe, and Kello trying to get some DPS down himself. He will fall on the right-hand side as Grigri doing some good work. Yoshi pivoting back to the right, and Brock will go straight over there to meet him.
Well, Naui, again, on this Nanny pick, is the man to watch for SK Gaming. Going to be trying to cycle those peeps in. I think with the help of the hand of the star power of Tempered Steel, so that he can stay more present whilst in that peep form. Whistling down, Kello chose not to go for the safe for the moment. As time goes on, SK Gaming do need to crack that first stage. but they're doing better than CMM in that regard, who have yet to even scratch it.
Great pinch from Dakai, though, and then Remika pinches the left-hand side as well. So 8-Bit should be able to heal and get up. Same with the Brock here, as he does outrange the Otis, but Nani coming in with a hypercharge now, just running him down and pops that super as well. Probably got the TP and does go straight for him. Can't find the kill.
Wow.
Goes down himself. What a move from Dakai. Bit of help from Remika in there as well. And that should be some big shots and save. Dakai will lose his life because of it, but should pretty much equal the score now.
Ooh, it didn't trickle down, so it's still 87% on the SK Gaming safe. If nothing changes, that is enough to win the game. Now he as well, renowned for his Nani play. So bringing it in at this stage of the competition, I quite like. You see how little damage is really being dealt to him when he is using that peep. But a trade nonetheless on the left-hand side. 20 seconds remain, and now every inch of damage counts.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. Remika just going to have to throw a super down more aggressively, try get OP to fall, but that's a waste of a hypercharge. Full control now in the hands of SK Gaming. Still a chance, though, as they tank that shot, 1% in it, but SK holding so firm. Dakai popping a hypercharge, needs to move. Remika moving up. Kello going for the damage as well, but there's a TP up top. Ope falls, the damage starts to come down, but Nani did enough on the opposing side, and SK Gaming go to match point.
What a difference a few set make for SK Gaming. Now, they get a match point. They cannot let this slide. If this goes to match point, it's going to be very dangerous territory. And that wasn't the highest of scoring rounds for Heist. Not by a long shot. So this time round, I think they would much prefer to give themselves a bit more of a cushioning, because that was a little bit close towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And CMM definitely had more chances to get some damage in there as well. Now just a few mishaps on the Nani TPs, sometimes not having as much luck as I'm sure I'd have hoped. Kello really finding it difficult to place down these damage boosters. He's getting hit hard by the slows there coming in from OP, standing on that water. A good jump across from Remika, should be able to get this finish, and does. And the Brock rotates left.
The helping hand now of that damage booster. Dakai will have a lot more fuel to his rockets. Good taps onto OP and Yoshi, clearing up some space, but nowhere really to be seen from the mid from Remika. He does need that. Oh, now he might get a bit of poison trickle down as well from these E-Pets, and he actually will fall for the back of that as well.
Yeah, Grigri coming in, but he's not really getting a lot back from that. Just buys himself a bit of time and doesn't take any damage whilst the teammate's down. There's the wall break, giving him a bit of a better angle towards Ope there, but he's just going to go to the right side and pinch there instead.
Yeah, OP is getting great value. He really is. Kello now double teamed. A nice week there from Yoshi. Again, coming in strong for his team. More damage to Remika. But look at the safe. It's still just only a 4% in it game.
Yeah, there's the fat splatter, and that'll add 2% a tick more for the side of SK Gaming. Hypercharge coming in from Naui as well. OP trying to make a move through the middle, but doesn't really find too much. Now, good kill there from Naui, and that's going to be the first crack gone for the side of SK.
Much, much better. And a peep earned there by Naui. Dakai really struggling on this right-hand side versus Yoshi. He might opt to go back to that left. Kello popping hypercharge, trying to make his move forwards, but goes down immediately to the zaps of Naui.
Yeah, huge stuff there, and OP having to force a lot of shots through there to get some in. And now he's going to get traded out. This might be the chance for them to re-crack that safe and bring it even. With 30 seconds left, we need a lot from CMM.
This could be it now for Kello, getting some really, really consecutive shots onto the safe with the help of the extra gadgets. Now 75% apiece. Dakai for hypercharge now. If he connects to some of the safe, it could be huge. But a knockback from Naui might give some space for SK to respond.
I mean, that's huge as well from Kello. Great defense. Remika has control through this mid. Kello needs to be stopped on the left-hand side, which means OP can't go aggressive through the mid. There's the Grigri to dual wheel for lanes, but he's going to fall, and Naui has to use a super and a hypercharge to get up, but he won't. Brilliance from CMM to get their third match. I think maybe more than three, actually, because they've had a lot of match points prior to SK winning one back. But they've had match point after match point after match point and haven't been able to close it out. Can they do it now?
Is this the game where CMM can take a step back, breathe a breath, and realize that they can do this? Or will SK Gaming put a stop to this madness? We are about to find out. It's such a very close set. A couple of percent in it. Both sides really are struggling somewhat in different ways.
Yeah, Lope gadget quickly and goes forwards, but luckily traded out. I think a little bit of a clip came in there from Naui on the right-hand side as well. Dakai, I was honestly expecting more from him in this Otis matchup. He probably will outrange him with the explosion radius and goes for a rocket fuel to get that extra radius going as well. Gets a hit, but nothing more back.
Dakai just waiting out the fat splatter on the left. OP is doing a fantastic job, by the way, of just juggling this mid-side lane. It's now down to really Takai to try and break some of that up, get a bit of angle onto him. He'll go for the push, though, opting to prioritize Yoshi, who he has been struggling with just a touch. Now the hypercharge now, waiting for these pests to go down to not interfere with that peak, no doubt. Oh, but Ramika strikes, gets the takedown, but no damage onto the safe. Now Kello, extra credits. That is a lot of damage.
Got the kill too, and he's going to be tanking with that as well. Now he pops a hypercharge to try and get something done, but Kello still dealing damage to the safe. They get that first crack down, and 93% still up top. Should be a TP from Naui, but not sure if he's going to get much back from it. Kello with another extra credits on safe, but only 1 or 2% taken.
Yeah, good defense there from SK. That could have been a bad situation going worse. Kaya's got to juke for his life now. He's got no support. He's double matched between Naui and Yoshi. Ramika would love to get a little egg on the map here. Bring in some pests to be able to tank some of these shots. Rocket fuel from Takai. And meanwhile, Kello will shoot maybe fall, but slow, staying alive on 800 HP. But that mute is going to trickle down as well. CMM are doing well, but it is on a knife's edge.
Well, there's 40 seconds left. SK don't seem to be getting control. The waste of a Grigri as well. Good kill on the right-hand side from Yoshi. Should allow him to go up, and a lovely one on the left too. But the Eve Pets with this hypercharge, keeping them mostly at bay and not letting them get that damage. And there's only 57 on SKs.
If Ramika can get just a couple of percent, just 7% on this safe to crack it, it would be massive. But now 20%, SK Gaming behind. Kello cracks the safe. SK Gaming are in trouble.
They need to make the move now. Still a crack left on CMM safe before they can even start to get the damage to next. 12 seconds, and this might be a defense. Down goes Otus on the left-hand side. Now he falls as well. And Kello on his debut, spinning on SK Gaming as they take them down in a 5-set series to make the semis.
2026 seems to be the year of the underdogs. No doubt about it. For SK Gaming, a squad that only went down in the semi-finals of the world stage, now out in the quarters of their debut monthly final. This will send shockwaves throughout EMEA.
It definitely leaves me in shock, let's put it that way. The hatchlings from Eve definitely worked out. Ramika with the most kills on the side of FaCMN. With a good pick coming into this. We talked about it. SK Gaming had to pick up that Otis just to prevent a tank from being picked up. Yoshi did well on the brawler. And I don't think it's just a draft. Overall, FaCMN just a stronger team today. A well-deserved win.
That crack huge as well there in that moment. Really nice stuff from CMM. And you can see as well on SK Gaming's faces, not pleased about that, and who would be? When you've been in a position getting to the grand finals, winning them, coming out of last year as the top team, to lose in the first monthly final in the first round, it's got to be devastating for them. But you can't take it away from CMM. They were 2 up, multiple match points, and eventually get it done. In my eyes, that's a deserving win.
I'm told we have to look at talent predictions. We can just skip that, right?
I mean, we don't need to linger. We don't need to linger, it's fine.
I would like to change something.
Moving on.
Can we please have me choose the other team in
On
each
every
single quarter?
qualifier.
It's the same thing that happened yesterday already. We only had one single prediction right, even though we went with what probably 99% of the community went with, just the obvious choice. If Seed 1 faces off against a team that we've never really seen in the monthly final, that has faced off against them twice last year already, Ark, of course you go with SK Gaming.
Yeah, you got to go with the favourites, but for me, that is a match that SK Gaming should not be losing.
Oh, really?
9 times out of 10, yeah, maybe even 10 times out of 10, they should not be losing that match. CMM played impeccable today. They played fantastic, but regardless of how well they are, even on their best of days, SK Gaming blew it.
I'm super happy for them because Ramika and Dekai, they've been in the scene for such a long time. We've seen them pop up every now and then. They've won a couple of smaller tournaments, and now this is a breakthrough for them, and as you said, Ark, this is going to shock the whole region. We're looking at the bracket now. CMM is going to move on into the semi-finals, and now they're facing off against either Team Heretics or Foot Esports. And after this performance, they might as well make it all the way to the grand finals. Yeah. Who do you have it? If, let's say, Heretics makes it through or Foot makes it through.
It only gets easier for CMM from here, to be honest with you. It only gets easier, in my opinion. You know, I'm not going to lie. I probably will still pick against them. They've put a great performance in. If you give me that SK Gaming versus CMM matchup, 10 times, I'm picking SK every time, even after seeing that. Because I think that's usually how it would go. But as I said, SK have got to be on a bad day, if not their worst day. And CMM had to be on their absolute best. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, that is a match that SK cannot afford to lose. But Team Heretics for esports going to be a very, very different